he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
You make me happy. Thank y'all for joining us on the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. This is Kicking It with the HLS pod episode, and I'm proud to be joined.
The way you introed it was like
by Terry Ricardo DeShazo.
So confusing to me.
Man, I thought after like 15 years of building up chemistry, you'd know when there's a dribble handoff coming.
No, it was there, but I was just like, is he saying his own name? Is he saying my name? It's all good, man. How y'all doing? I'm Terry Ricardo DeShazo II. He's Garrett, We're out here. I don't know how I feel about the World Cup. We're only going to talk about the World Cup pretty much because NBA and NFL, it's happening, but it is what it is. We're American fans. That's our biggest, favorite sport. Soccer is, and America has a chance to advance, man. But I don't know. It's feeling like they're fumbling the bag a little bit, bro. They're fumbling the bag, bro. And I'm kind of worried about them because this last game has kind of gotten some heightened intensity to it because we did some shit on social media against Iran. We took away their emblem on their flag, and now they're looking at us like, hey, what's going on here, man? I thought we were cool. All of a sudden, it's a nice little rivalry going before this game starts tomorrow. I'm intrigued, bro.
Yeah, like we didn't have bad blood with Iran before this. I'm sure it was the tweet that really got things going.
The outside war shit doesn't matter. We remember when Iran gave us flowers, when was this, 98 or 2002? It was before one of our games in Iran. We took a picture with them. They all gave 12 bouquets of flowers before the game. They took a picture. You don't remember that?
Nah, we're into bolts, handmade bombs and stuff, underneath the roots.
No, it was no bombs and flowers.
No? Okay.
Not at all. Not at all.
Listen, man, we're coming in there to take down Iran at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. We got no love for them. I already got my my dartboard, with the Ayatollah on it. And I've been hitting bullseyes all day. But before we get to Iran, man, let's talk about the two games the U.S. already played. The first one was against Wales. The second one was against England.
Fumbled.
Let's start with Wales, man. What stood out to you from this game? And let me rephrase the question. What's one area in which you were pleased with how the USA performed, and what's an area in which they have to improve?
Ooh, all right. So when I was watching the first half specifically, I loved the possession of the ball, and not just meaningless Spain-type possession that I hate watching. They fucking ruin soccer for me some days. Some days, I'm okay with it. But the progression was beautiful. The pressure was beautiful. And it seemed like we were getting plenty of chances on them. Even though we only scored one, it was plenty of shots on goal. And honestly, on the other end defensively, I kind of liked how we handled some of the corners. But that was before the big fella got into the game for Wales. So on the other end, I would say what I didn't like, the second half, we looked absolutely scared. We looked like we were playing to not lose, which you never want to do. It happens in soccer all the time. That's why I'm kind of glad that the Champions League got rid of the away goal rule and shit like that. It's just play to win. Stop playing scared. You're better than Wales. All they did was swap strikers out. Well, they got rid of one fast winger and they put in a big dude, 6'5". I get it. I understand. But that was their only move. You didn't have to change everything you were doing offensively. That's my biggest problem with they didn't know how to handle a big dude. I knew that was coming. I feel like Matt Turner still played well on corners.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's been awesome.
It was a couple corners where I was like, come on, Matt, just stay in the goal. But, other than that, I think he played well. I think the team played well in that game, but they definitely squandered that one. You could tell that we were better than Wales. Our highs were way higher than theirs. We just played really bad in the second half.
Yeah. And the way we dominated the first half, it was that was a statement of intent, it seemed like. They really came out there. They controlled the entire flow of the game.
Yeah.
Wales couldn't progress the ball into our own half. They could not get it out of their half. We were pressing the fuck out of them. We were turning the ball over, in good areas in front of their goal. And then once we did that, we'd make bad decisions or play a bad final ball or take a bad shot.
Yeah.
And it's the individual quality wasn't there to capitalize on all the different chances that we created. Then in the second half, everyone in the world knew that Wales was going to press us.
Yeah.
Up 1-0, they couldn't progress the ball at all. Everyone knows they're going to make a tactical change. They put on the big fella. They start pressing us in our own half, and we keep giving the ball away. Dest gives the ball away. McKinney gives the ball away. Musa gives the ball away. The whole time, I'm screaming, De La Torre's got to be coming in, right? Gio Reyna's got to be coming in so we can get a hold of this game. No, it's Kellen Acosta.
The best.
Kellen Acosta, who falls asleep on the goal that they scored. They take a quick throw. He's out of position.
Yep.
They get a turn in the box, and we slide tackle through both of their legs.
Shout out Walker Zimmerman. Yeah. Shout out to Walker for being a wild man. No need to slide in that situation. It made no sense. Yeah. But
shout out for him for getting bullied by the big dude the entire time, too. As soon as he came in, Walker Zimmerman was getting fucking bodied. They started playing all those goal kicks directly up to him. He's chesting it down. He's playing it out wide. He's flicking it on. Suddenly they have a hub that they can advance their possession through, and we had no answers. There were no adjustments. It was just like, we'll put in like-for-like players and defensive battlers when we clearly need to get a foothold on the game and maintain possession more.
It was just like elementary.
And then Gio Reyna didn't play.
Nah, I was thinking it must have been some sort of slight knock as to why he didn't play at all in that
Nope.
game.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, Terry, because Eric Winalda, former U.S. men's national team striker, shed some light on the Gio Reyna situation to the press after the first game. And basically what he said was that Berhalter, after that first game, when he was asked about Gio Reyna, he was like, we're doing some type of injury check, and there was a setback, and we didn't think he was ready to go, and we just wanted to make sure. And then he asked Reyna to go along with it and lie to the press. And he was like, no, like, I was healthy. I was ready to go the whole time. The reason I didn't play was because it was the coach's decision. It wasn't no injury, nothing. So then he comes out and says that, and then Berhalter's like, well, I can't start you against England now that you've come out against me publicly in the press. You're going to play like 8 minutes.
Come on,
That's a bad look, man. The coach lying to the press, lying on his players, lying to the media, like just because he didn't have the heart to be like, yeah, it was a tactical decision. I thought we were best leaving Reyna on the bench and going for Jordan Morris's speed and power. But just keep it at that, man. You don't have to lie on one of your best players and now create a rift in the middle of the World Cup.
Yeah, that was stupid. But he does this shit, bro. This is what he does. He mishandles all these types of situations. Like as much as I like the way that he kind of has led us as far as like on-field decisions and shit, there might be certain players we don't like, but they're good for the system because they don't do too much dumb shit. They don't lose the ball. They're just kind of there. Like I'm fine with it. But this is the type of shit I'm talking about. It's the off-the-field shit. It's the fucking decisions for – like when we even thought when Jordan Morris was on the roster, I didn't say it, but I saw a lot of people were just like, it doesn't matter. He's not going to play. Like, it's not that big a deal. He's like one of the last 23. It doesn't matter. And then you see him walk on the field and you're just like, oh, it matters. Now he's on the field. He doesn't deserve to be on this field. He's garbage. Doesn't want to go to Europe. He's scared. He's scared of the moment.
Coming off 2 ACL surgeries, doesn't even start for his MLS team. And we're going to play him over a guy who finished top 20 in the Golden Boy voting. He made the short list for the 20 best young players in the world under 21. In the world. And we're going to play Jordan Morris over.
Yeah, he deserves it. Gio Reyna deserves to start every single game. So I don't understand what the hell they're doing with this stupid shit. If he starts him in this game, it might be too late. It might be too late you start him versus Iran. You should have did it in the first two. He could have get you, especially all the chance. We needed to score on some of these chances. We got 1 goal in 2 games. Congratulations on tying England again. Ooh, whoop-de-fucking-do. Like, let's continue on the Wales game. But anyways, in the first half, I'm watching with some people, and I'm like, look, this is what I was talking about. Remember we were talking on the pod, and you were like, Gareth Bale, he's way better than all our players and all this type of shit. First half, they gave me some good trash-talking material. I was like, Gareth Bale's washed. I told you. Everything that I was talking about came true. And then in the second half, you're telling me you can't put 2 people on a tall guy, 1 in front, 1 behind on a fucking goal kick? Like, are we in middle school? You just let Walker Zimmerman get like, destroyed? We understand this dude is 6'5". If you see after 2 goal kicks that he can't jump over him or get position on him because dude's strong. Dude's strong as shit. All right, I'll give him that. He's a big dude. At least put somebody in front of him so he's not so easily moving around and jumping. Like, that's the easiest thing you can do as a coach. I don't understand. Or the players have an IQ. Like, if I see that shit in the game, there's one tall dude. I'm like, hey, look, defensive mid, just stand in front of him so he can't jump every time so I get a free header. Simple.
Yeah. There's no need to, like, press them when we're up 1-0 on their goal kicks. It's like, how about we drop into a mid block and have an extra their player in the midfield third to win the header from this gigantic motherfucker instead of trying to press the center backs.
Agreed. And then I think it would play into our strengths because Pulisic, Weah, and at that point in the game, you had Sargent in. You know, kind of fast dudes. McKennie likes to run. Adams likes to run. And Musa likes to run. Transition, I feel like we're good at it. But, you know, we decided to keep doing some of the shit that we were doing in the first half. But it's just
But you could just see the game slipping away.
Yeah,
and, they would concede possession in front of their goal in bad areas like 4 or 5 times in a row. And you're like, it's coming. Like, you could feel it as a fan. You're like, we need to make changes. We need to get a grasp on this game again. And in comes Kellen Acosta. And it's just so demoralizing when you see that. And then he makes a mistake that gives up the goal. Tim Ream, you know what? I owe an apology to Tim Ream.
Yeah.
Because he's well. Over the first 2 games, he's played his fucking ass off. He's looked the better of the two with Walker Zimmerman. You know, the crazy lack of pace that we've been concerned about with the two of them playing next to each other has not really come to fruition. Like, teams have not really got behind him in space a ton.
Yeah.
He's done a really good job of winning those contested headers, you know, winning those second balls and playing them into feet where those people can, like, make the next progression. I've been, like, really, really impressed with Ream, and I was number one doubter. Didn't think he had the pace to play in the high line next to Zimmerman. Didn't think he fit the squad with his old age. He's playing really, really well, and he's making me eat my words.
Yeah, I think Greg Berhalter was, like, a step ahead of us on that one. It was some shit I didn't think about. It's like Tim Ream has seen Wales players and England players, like, all the time. So he's just used to how they play. And I didn't even think about that shit. We were just like, it's Tim Ream. He sucks. He can't play. No way. Get him off the fucking field.
And they said that's why they started Sargent in the Wales game, too. They're like, he's used to all these guys. He's played against these defenders.
And he played well. Sargent played really well. So, like, it was some shit I didn't think about it. I was just too emotional about the selections, you know? All these black guys.
I get caught up in the caucasity sometimes, Terry. I get worried when I see too many lumber and whites on the back line next to each other.
That's facts. It's the same shit when we're just like, when people say Tom Brady isn't one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen because he can't run a 4.40. You know what I'm saying? It's the same type of shit. When you see Tim Ream, you're just like, he doesn't look like an athlete. He doesn't really jump super high. You know, he's not the greatest at soccer, but anticipation and IQ matters. He's always in the right spot. He's a really smart player. So I give it to Greg on that one. But these substitutions waited way too long in that first game, bro. He waited way too long in that first game. I mean, what was the first sub? Oh, I got to give a shout out to the ref, too. In the first game, it was too big for him, bro. He was not ready for that shit. That ref was so bad.
2 yellow cards in the first 10 minutes for the first fouls on McKinney and the first foul on Desk. It's like, what, dude, what are you doing?
That was
It's
crazy.
like, did you watch the Mexico-Argentina game? Every common foul from that game, he would have given a yellow card to. Like, if that ref had ref Mexico-Argentina, there would have been 9 guys on the field at the end of it.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that the ref ruined the game for us. I'm just saying he just was a bad ref. He was calling horrible calls. Yellows weren't yellows. People were getting taken out, and he wasn't even calling them as yellows. They were stopping transition plays, and he didn't even think about giving them a yellow. He just blow the whistle and then start jogging to get back into place. I'm like, my dude, we had a fucking 4-on-5, and you're not about to give him a yellow after a blatant trip? All right, cool. But anyways.
Right, at midfield as they're breaking.
Yeah. But I think the first substitution, the Aronson substitution, I think that was a good one in the 66th.
Yeah, because that was early. It was in the 60s, right?
Yeah. It was the 66th minute. Like, McKinney started to kind of fade. He wasn't playing great in the game overall, I would say, at that point. It's just second half wise.
He had a rough game against Wales, I think, especially in the second half.
I like that one. But then after that, you need to do it a lot quicker. Like, you could tell the game was slipping. Change it up a lot faster. But Yedlin coming in, horrible decision. I get it. Dest isn't good. I totally understand it. But Yedlin couldn't even trap a soccer ball. Like, he couldn't trap the ball in a regular pass. So I'm just like, I don't know why he even got in the game.
He was terrible. I mean, you saw they went with Shaq Moore in the England game. Not that he was any better.
No. But, oh, God, man. I get it, though. Des had a yellow. You know, your options are kind of slim. Injuries kind of fucked us on that end, bro, because we need another right back. This shit is crazy. We need something. But Yedlin
what happened to Joe Scally? What happened to him?
He was looking good. I thought he was going to get on the roster, but he didn't. It's only 23 spots. And
what about the other guy, Sands?
I thought he was playing well too, but he didn't pick him. But another weird one was Haji Wright getting in. He didn't do anything in that game. In the Wales game, he did nothing. We're just talking specifically Wales. Haji Wright did nothing. Yedlin did nothing. Aronson looked okay.
Haji Wright kept trying to post up on their center back, and we're like, dude, we're not playing you to feet. Like, I'm about to dribble into 3 people. I don't know what you're doing standing there.
Yeah, it was weird. And then, of course, the worst one of all, your boy, Kellen Acosta. The first subs for the first game, horrible.
Terrible.
There's nothing you can say about it. Nothing you can say about it. Because I don't think Yedlin didn't get in the second game. Acosta didn't get in the second game. Haji Wright started the first game, which is interesting, but I'm just those subs just weren't it, man. I don't understand why he couldn't just stop a big dude. Just stop him. He didn't do anything.
Failure to adjust, man. Failure to adjust. That's what clearly cost us the Wales game. Everybody saw their halftime adjustments coming, but our coach, Greg Berhalter, who came out there with the same high pressing plan, same principles. Like, Wales weren't going to switch everything up. Like, we didn't need to have better ball progressors on the field while we were being pressed. It was just a masterclass in not having any feel for the game. But at least he looked cool out there with his fucking Jordans and bounce passes. Game 2, we played England. After, they say in soccer, Terry, is like some draws are like victories and some are like losses. The draw against Wales was like a loss. The one against England felt like a victory.
Yeah. If we didn't tie the first game, I would have felt a lot better about it. But,
right. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And we probably would have already booked our fucking path in if we had won that first game. But I digress. England, we knew the game was going to be cagey, but I was surprised by how much respect they showed us, like, tactically, like how unwilling they were to go forward and take risks and put their fullbacks higher up the field and get, like, runners into the box with their midfielders. Like, Harry Kane was pretty much isolated up there. He kept dropping deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to try to get the ball. I thought we did a really good job, like, shutting off all their avenues to progress it. And we're like, you're going to have to do something that you're uncomfortable doing if you want to advance this ball. Like, you're going to have to carry it as a defender. You're going to have to send a defender into the final third if you want that, like, overload. Like, you're going to have to take risks that you could get hurt on. And England was like, no, we'll just tie 0-0 and we'll fucking kick the ball around all game and we won't take a single risk and we'll take this point. And so I thought it showed the respect that they had for us in a way that, like, no one's really ever respected America before. They played us like we were a top team, and they were, like, really afraid of taking risks against us. And that was positive to me. I haven't seen that in a while, where another team, like, looked at us and they were like, we can't come out here and fuck around, even though it's a top 5 team in the world. Like, they looked at us and they were like, these guys are for real, and we need to be on our shit for a full 90, not locked in. And that's what it took.
No, I mean, England, like I said, bro, England's a top team. I mean, they showed us in the first game of this whole thing, Iran. They scored 6 goals on them, and it was like flawless, seamless transitions. Everything they did was just silky smooth, and it looked so easy. With that being said, there was some shit that some of the players said in the press that made it seem like they didn't respect the players as much as we did, or as much as their coach did. Southgate said he respected them. The other players were like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, America's okay, blah, blah, blah. Like, they weren't really agreeing with what he said. But if the coach is giving you specific, things to do.
I don't know. Jordan Henderson echoed his comments. They're like, after the game, they're like, you kind of treated USA as if they were a top team and everything. And he was
after. Yeah.
He was like, they are a top team. You know what I mean? He's like, we did. We thought of them as a top team.
Yeah, no. After the game is different, but before the game, they're just like, nah. It's, we're not thinking like that.
But you saw the difference in approach. Like when they scored those 6 goals in Iran, their wingbacks were bombing forward and putting in crosses, and they were all the way in the final third creating overloads. They did not take those chances against us. Like they had a lot more respect for us than they had for Iran.
But you could kind of tell though, like because Trippier is not super fast, so like. You saw Saka drop back a lot in that game, a lot more than Sterling. So I can understand kind of why, Robinson didn't look as good as he did in the first game. But Saka,
Hey, but I thought Robinson's been pretty great this whole World Cup. And like you mentioned, his work rate going forward is like what forced Saka and all those other guys to stay back in their own half instead of leaking out. So it's like he played his defense with offense like Barcelona.
Yeah. Now, I think Robinson played okay in that England game. I think Saka really played well defensively. Like, he really helped Trippier a lot. But they needed that. Like, Robinson is way faster than Trippier, but Saka is fast as shit, so I get why they did that. On the other ends, I think who started? Was it Dest on the right back again?
Yep.
You could tell Sterling wasn't dropping back as much as Saka was. He was like, just let Dest dribble. He'll dribble himself into nothing.
The interesting thing for me about Dest and about like how we changed from Wales to England is, we played like basically a 4-3-3 the last 18 months in qualifying.
Yeah.
And then against England, we played a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
And we were like, we'll push Weston McKennie and make him a right midfielder, kind of like he does for Juve a bit. And then we'll play with, what was his name? Haji Wright and Weah up top.
Yep.
And I thought they did a really good job with that, like taking away the space on the outside of the pitch, whereas now we had like a fourth man in that midfield. So we lost a bit in the center of the park, but we're like, you know what? We got Adams in the center of the park and Musa. Like those guys are going to break everything up. And they did a great job doing it.
No, they definitely did.
For a team that stayed married to the like verticality 4-3-3, I thought it was encouraging that they were willing to switch to a different formation. And I thought McKennie had his best game in some time playing in that role up and down the right side, where it's like now Dest can kind of tuck into the midfield space and kind of act like that false six, kind of like Tyler Adams is playing in Leipzig. And then you get the width out wide with McKennie. And now Weah is in the box instead of hugging the fucking touchline. So I like that setup a little bit more. But do I think we're going to continue to see it going forward? Probably not. I think it's something that we probably just had in our back pocket to stifle England, and then we'll go back to playing our regular 4-3-3 against Iran.
Yeah, it was just something that we did to try to stop England. But Iran, we got to be way more offensive. Like, I understand, you try to get your draw. And we had a couple chances that were decent. I wouldn't say any chance was like
the McKennie one. The McKennie one.
Yeah. The thing I will say about the McKennie one, I mean, like the ball gets to you kind of unexpectedly. You probably should still at least try to get it on target. But the way it came in, he was literally just standing behind Haji and Maguire. And when they jumped, the ball just got to his feet so fucking fast. He was like, oh, shit. He hit it, and it kind of went over. I get it. He's not a striker. I would rather like someone who could score a lot of goals be there because McKennie really only scored 2 goals for us in all of the qualifying. So it's not like he's a goal scorer. Do I want him to hit the target? Yeah. But as a soccer player that's seen that a million times, I'm not like.
Yeah, if he's not going to make an impact, with his, shooting from distance, then he needs to be making an impact in the air. And he was non-existent in that game against England and got straight up dominated by Harry Maguire. Like,
in the air, yeah,
man. Maguire and Stones were cleaning up fucking everything in the air, dude.
Yeah.
They were winning every header. Every corner kick that we had was a waste. It was just an absolute waste.
Oh, no.
And, I was talking about this online on the U.S. men's national team blogs and whatnot, but I don't understand our lack of player movement on, like, any of our set pieces. It's like we just run right to the spot we're going to go to, and we'll cross it to you. And then you see these other teams, like Germany in the Spain game, they're setting fucking picks. Like, it's like watching the Warriors offense out there. Some guy sets a pick for 2 other guys, then he runs back post and someone sets a pick for him to get wide open. Screen the screener action, just like you see Steph do all the time. It's like, we don't see any of that on this USA team. You watch Mexico, they have 3 guys line up over every free kick. They got 2 guys on every corner kick. You don't know whether it's going to be in swinging, out swinging. Is it going short? there are all these different things that you have to account for in your mind. And watching the U.S. team on these set pieces is like watching the fucking Cowboys when old dude was still coaching, Jason Garrett. Where it's like, oh, there's not going to be any motion. There's not going to be any misdirection. There's not going to be anything that you have to watch. We're just going to run it up the fucking middle on first and second down, and then we're going to throw it on third, and you guys have to stop it. And Harry Maguire and John Stones were like, okay.
Yeah, they're killing that. And I like the way that they adjusted on a couple of those corners where they're like put one person in front of Maguire so he's not just free on every fucking header. They did that. But the first 3 corners that we had, no one moved. It was like I had no idea what I was watching. I was like, what the fuck are y'all doing? And Pulisic actually put in some good balls.
Yeah, it was like the best balls that he's put in maybe 18 months, and we didn't have anyone there to capitalize them. I mean, it's a low bar for him because the best free kick delivery is like, can you clear the first man at the near post?
He's not good at him, but that's an indictment on everyone else on the team. It's like, none of y'all can kick a corner kick to the 6, like near the PK spot. Not a single one of you. You've been playing soccer for how long? Oh, okay.
Right. It's pretty unbelievable. I'm not going to lie.
Crazy as fuck, bro. I mean, and don't listen to me because I've taken probably 1 or 2. Because I'm 6 feet tall and I'm always going to be in the fucking box or outside the box. Like, I've never been someone to kick the shits. But when I did it, I was like, hey, that was kind of easy. I'm not like put that shit in the box. Somebody get it.
Yeah, you get to take an unpressured long ball. Like, it's not hard.
Yeah. It's so weird because this team is like the opposite of all the teams we've ever had before. Because in years past, we had to do shit on set pieces because our dirt run-of-the-play game is just so bad. So inferior to all the other teams. But now this team is like, no, we're really good at the play. We're really good at the run of play. Like, we can score a goal at any time.
Except the proof is in the pudding, Terry. Over the course of the 2 games that we played in the World Cup, we have a total of 1.1 expected goals from the 2 games. So we're not creating a whole bunch of shit and are this swashbuckling side that just creates chance after chance, and we just don't have a guy who could finish it like Spain. No, we barely create anything at all. Yeah, we could 100% use some goals from set pieces.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, like you mentioned, Terry, an area in which historically we've been really strong in, how we've just managed to regress in it over the last 8 years to this point, where it's like we don't have a single person who's even a threat. We don't run plays that scramble the defense. It's like we just line it up and kick it in. And I don't understand how you can get so much worse in an area that was your calling card for 20 years.
I think it might be something to say, though. Like, I don't think any of these guys, I think besides McKinney, are, really good in the air. Like,
Zimmerman is decent. He can get up there.
Zimmerman is straight.
You know what I mean? Also, the other center back that I'm aligned for 15 years, Tim Ream, he can also get up a little bit.
They're decent, but, I can understand the struggles against Wales and England. They're pretty big teams.
Did you see the picture of Haji Wright jumping?
No, I missed. I didn't see it. Did they have?
Yes, that motherfucker jumped like shit. His bottom of his feet were at Harry Maguire's cock.
Yeah, but he's not going at the ball. You gotta go at the ball. Bro.
He just jumped high as fuck, on a pogo stick, straight up.
I can kind of understand why they're bad at it though, because in CONCACAF we tower over almost every team. Our team is just bigger than everybody, but Wales and England, they're not scared of that shit at all. They're way bigger than us. It is what it is, but you got to find a way to do something. And it just kind of seems like it's like Berhalter is giving these guys training wheels or some shit. He's like, look, guys, just play simple. I'm not even going to work on set pieces. If we get one, just play it in. If we get a goal, fantastic.
Well, the worst one, Terry, was, we get the free kick in the last minute of the game in the England game, and we have a chance to go win the game. And our coach tells Pulisic, play it short and take the final whistle.
Hey, there's no fucking way if I was Pulisic I would do that. I've been with all due respect, I'm putting this in. If we score, we score. If we don't, the game's going to be over anyways. It was 5 seconds. That was the last kick of the game. You could tell, though.
Not only that, we knew at that point, Terry, that a tie was as good as a loss for our prospects going forward.
Yeah.
That, there was no meaningful difference between getting 1 point and 0 points. And that it entirely benefited us to try to go for the win.
I was pissed from minute 50 on because you knew both teams didn't want to win. And I was just wasting my time just fucking watching the game. You could just tell, bro. Like, England tie-in, they don't care. They don't want to win. They won the first game by 4 goals, goal differential. They got 3 points. Now they got 4. They're chilling because they play who? Fucking Wales? They're not scared of Wales. They probably beat them plenty of times in fucking qualifying. We got to play a team that's 20th in the world, the best Asian team of all the teams that have qualified, the highest ranked. Yeah, they lost to England, but they beat Wales 2-0. We tied Wales 1-1, if you want to put comparisons on that or not. They're a good team. This isn't some team that we're just going to walk in and win 3-0, 2-0, 1-0. It's going to be a hard game. So I don't understand why you're just going to give up on the game at minute 50 and just see fuck it on every set piece, on every opportunity. Every chance that we got has been a half chance. There has not been a great full-on that should have been a goal chance in England.
Except for the goal that was scored. That was the only, full chance.
Yeah, well, just the England game because, the Wales game, that was beautiful. But in that England game, we had no great balls that were played, behind the lines for anybody running. We just looked like we wanted to tie the game, and I don't understand that mentality. And I feel like this is kind of the problem that people have with Greg Berhalter sometimes. It's like he's too strategic, in which sometimes just let the training wheels off the boys and see what they can do. They've seen Wales players all the time. They've seen England players all the time. We have a bunch of guys in Europe that play fucking soccer. Let the guys play. They're not scared of them anymore.
My criticism is he's not strategic enough. That we have pretty much the same strategy regardless of context. Things will change around us and we don't change.
I was saying as more of he's looking at the points instead of
yeah. I know
on the field.
And that was supposed to be the big difference between him and Klinsmann, was how pragmatic Klinsmann was. Remember before the World Cup that we went to where we lost to Belgium, he said the week before the World Cup to the press, the U.S. has no chance of winning. We're not on that level yet. All this shit right before we went to the World Cup. And then you hear our coach and he's on our best day, we can beat anybody. We expect to go far. We're not backing down for nobody. We're here to make a statement. And then this is the statement that you go out and make, that we're not even going to put a ball in the box to try to win the game. We're just going to take the meaningless point and go on to the next round. It was so cowardly. It was so anti-American, the American values that are ingrained in us as kids, bravery, self-autonomy, that you can defy the odds and anybody can do it, taking risks. No, we'll just be pragmatic and pass it and then let the referee blow the final whistle.
It looks like he doesn't care who you are. If you want to take a risk, you'll be sitting on the bench with Gio Reyna. Don't go against old Greg. It was the last kick of the game. I saw, because they showed Greg on a solo. He told Zimmerman and Ream, stay where you are.
Yeah.
Time's done.
He told Pulisic, don't put it in. He said, don't put it in.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, just go. The game's over. Just kick it. As soon as you kick it and we score or don't score, the ref's going to blow the whistle. That's it. Jesus Christ, bro. You're right. Un-American. I don't like this guy. No matter how far we go, he's going to get fired. And to the shit you were saying earlier, after these 2 games, at our best, do you even think we have a chance against anybody that's in the top 10? At our best, after watching these 2 games?
Yeah, because England's in the top 10. England's in the top 10, and we could have beaten them. If Weston McKennie could have finished that shit, if Pulisic's shot goes 3 inches lower on the underside of the bar, we beat England. So, yeah, on our best, we could. Can we do it consistently, round after round? No fucking way.
We don't have a goal scorer. We don't have Dempsey and Donovan anymore. We need something like that. We just don't have it on this team. And it's
not only that, Pulisic, I got to say, man, and I've been talking about this for months and months and months. I've caught a ton of fucking flack from all types of USA fans about Pulisic.
Yeah.
The over dribbling or the under dribbling. His decision making in those 2 games, so bad. There are so many times that we had a 4-on-4 break or a 3-on-3 break. He either dribbles it until he loses the ball, or he passes it immediately to the outside player, and now there's no danger. It's you got to drive at the other man's defender, force him to commit, and then now get an overload. and he does the one thing that's like either pass the buck and here you go do it, or I'm going to do it all myself and lose the ball. He's got to improve his decision making, man, because he's clearly super talented. But like this is the reason that you get 1.1 expected goals out of 2 games. When you win the ball in the other team's half as often as we do, it's like you should be getting a lot higher quality chances from this. And a big reason we aren't is because Pulisic is making bad decisions in transition. I got a stat for you, Terry.
Right, give it to me.
This is from the Wales game. Per The Athletic, who went through the second half of the game and tracked everything, there were 8 transition moments in the second half in which the U.S. could punish Wales. Not only did they fail to do so, they didn't even register a shot on goal from any of those chances.
I saw some of those chances. I remember that Wales game. It was just pitiful, man. It was pretty bad. But
the problems continued in the England game. And it's like we do such great work without the ball to turn the ball over in a bad spot. And then we get it in the attacking third. And it's like, all right, here's the time to be creative. Here's the time to show our stuff. No, we'll just wait for the overlapping back and then play this ball on the ground to the PK spot right where people have been sitting on it.
If there's a time to take a right back on, it's fucking Kieran Trippier, who's 32 years old. He plays in La Liga because he knows he's slow and he doesn't want to go against fast wingers. Go at him.
Doesn't Trippier play for Newcastle?
I don't even know who he plays for now. I might have said
he plays for Newcastle.
Does he play for Newcastle now?
Yeah.
He's still slow. Premier League's not ready for that slowness. Bro. Take him. Dribble him. You got to go at him 10 times a game. And beat England while they're weak. Kyle Walker is their best right back. They got their 4th best right back in. You know why? Because they said we're going to be pragmatic and slow, and we can just use Trippier for fucking free kicks. Don't let them do what they want to do. Go at Trippier. Get him out the fucking game. He's slow.
The only guy who looked like he was willing or able to do it was Musa.
Musa's got no fear, and I love him.
Musa didn't look great in that first game against Wales, but playing against a lot of guys he played in the youth system with on England, guys he's familiar with, he didn't lack for confidence at all. He was destroying shit in the middle of the park, winning balls back. Him and Adams were so dynamic. Like, they could not progress the ball through those two. And then going forward, he was brave. He moved quickly. He got out tight spaces. He played with physicality. Musa, man, I wrote that article about him 2 years ago saying I hope he chooses the U.S. He's the real deal, man. He might be the best out of everybody. When this is all said and done, it might be Musa who's the best out of this whole generation.
I think Musa's the best. Like, I know stats can track pass completions and shit like that, dribbles pass and stuff like that, but they don't really account for his touch is buttery smooth. Every single time he gets the ball, I'm not worried about him missing a trap. With all due respect to Robinson and Yedlin and Shaq Moore and even Zimmerman, I saw do. I can't pass you the ball in a professional game and it goes under your foot and out of bounds.
Hey, you forgot Tyler Adams.
Yeah, but I got to give Adams more respect because he plays hard as fuck. So I'll give him.
Yeah, he does, but he misses traps in bad positions too.
Yeah, I can't play you a pass on the ground and it goes under your feet. I'm sorry, that's just not no one else in the world is doing that in a top 20 team. That's not happening. It's fucking ridiculous. So
yeah,
Musa's the beast, bro. He doesn't fuck up. He's not scared of anybody. He doesn't care about pressure on him. If there's 2 people, he'll still dribble them. I like the way he plays. He's been the best.
He's 19 still.
Yeah. He's only 19.
You got to realize this kid hasn't even grown into his man body yet.
Yeah.
Do you know how fast and powerful he's going to be at 25 with all the skill and everything that he has now?
I think he's been the best. With all due respect to Tim Ream, Tim Ream has been better than what we have expected. But as far as someone being the best, going against people that are actually good midfielders, not fucking shit strikers, Wales, Benmore, whatever. I think Musa's been the best. He's going up and down like a fucking prime Pogba, dog. He's looking pretty good to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, right. He is looking pretty good to me. And I was really impressed by him. Like we mentioned earlier, he usually plays in a 3-man midfield, switched to a 4-4-2. Now him and Adams are the double pivot in the center of the park. You got one extra man, and it was no problem at all. They cleaned up all that shit super easy.
Yeah.
They found it really hard to progress the ball. Very happy with that pivot of Musa and Tyler Adams. McKinney still has to improve his performances. He's had a kind of some bright spots and some big misses and some rough spots as well.
Yeah.
I'd love to see De La Torre for, when we actually have to kill off games and retain possession and progress the ball playing it short. I'd love to see our most talented player, Gio Reyna, play more than 10 minutes in a game. I'd love to see that. Terry, what would be your starting 11 against Iran?
Well, first, I'm playing a 4-3-3. I think I'm still going to go with, you know what? I was thinking Jesus Ferreira for a second, but I think I'd go Tim Weah as my striker, Reyna on the right, Pulisic on the left. Reyna, just be on the right and shut the fuck up about it. I'm sick of this dumb shit. He didn't look great when he was on the right. I think he's a little confused. If you want to switch Pulisic and Reyna, do whatever you want. Just have everybody up top be interchangeable. Like, y'all can play those positions. Pulisic's going to act like he hasn't played a false nine. And I understand Berhalter hasn't, tried these dudes at the striker position, but you got to do something because we need to score goals versus Iran. We have to win the game. We can't just be like, let's play some hard defense. Hopefully we get some half chances that go in.
Is it too late to replace Berhalter with Herm Edwards? Hello?
I'd love to, but he couldn't make it in college, so no. Look, those three up top, keep the three the same in the middle, and then the back, I guess, stay the same.
Stay the same.
Just has to play,
So the big addition is no Haji Wright, no Josh Sargent. We're going to put Gio Reyna on the field. I like it. And I actually wouldn't mind seeing Reyna as a false nine himself and keeping Weah out wide a little bit more. And like you said, all three of those guys can interchange when the situation calls for it.
Yeah.
But Terry, the coach has already categorically ruled that out. Talking to the press this morning, and keep in mind, you need a barrel of salt or a whole slave ship of salt or an aircraft carrier worth of salt or a meteorite worth of salt with everything that Greg Berhalter says, because he's already lied 3 days ago to the press about a member of his own team.
Yeah.
But he did say that he would asked if he would play Gio Reyna as a false nine. He said that they haven't thought about playing Reyna, Pulisic, Weah, or Jordan Morris at striker. He'll stick with Sargent, Wright, and Jesus Ferreira.
Who would you start out of those three? Sargent?
No. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't start any three of those guys. Straight up.
He's going to do it. So, out of the three, you only have those three.
All right. Well, if we're going to do that dumb shit, start Jordan Morris, and we'll go back to the 4-4-2.
He's not starting him either. I'm telling you, of the three people that have an actual real possibility to start, who are you going to start? Who's it going to be? Because we got to score a goal. Who's going to be your boy?
I mean, it would have to be Ferreira, I think, out of those three, because his movement's the best, his link-up play is the best. Even if his finishing is questionable, you feel like they're going to create more with him, even if they're not going to finish it. Haji Wright, it's it seems like, I know you've got great chemistry with Pulisic, and he's your best friend, and everyone on the team knows you, but it seems like you don't know how to play with these guys, and you're constantly isolated out in the middle of nowhere. You're asking for balls to your feet when they should go to space. You're running into space when you should be coming short to link the play. You're jumping straight up in the air and not putting contact on anybody for the headers and losing aerial duels. It's like, if you're not winning headers and you're not serving as a fulcrum for the attack where we can play it into you, and now, how Wales did with their big guy, what the fuck are you doing out there? So, no, you can't play.
That's pointless.
Josh Sargent, I don't know if he's as familiar with the Iranian guys as he was with the Welsh ones. You know what I mean? If that was the big point for picking him against Wales, I couldn't imagine sticking with that against Iran. I mean, it's got to be one of the four. It's got to be Reyna, Pulisic, Weah, or Jordan Morris. And by the way, they uncovered another lie by Greg Holter, who said that he wouldn't consider playing Jordan Morris at forward. Jordan Morris already revealed to the press that he's had conversations with Berhalter about playing striker.
Oh. Ew. Why? Of all the strikers, of every person that has a possibility of playing striker, he's the worst.
Yeah.
He's the 7th worst striker we have in the team.
His pace and physicality, Terry.
Berhalter has got to go after this. I don't care how far we go, bro. He's got to get the fuck up out of here. I think, but honestly, of the 3 guys we were talking about, I think is Jesus Ferreira the only one who's scored in World Cup qualifying? Because Haji Wright didn't play a single game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a good call. Man, if we only had Ricardo Pepi.
Oh, and then Sargent didn't play a single game in World Cup qualifying, did he? Or maybe a couple in the beginning?
He was really bad and gave him an early hook.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. I'm just confused. This team
got to play the false 9, man. Got to do it. I don't care. You got to do it.
You can't. I mean, you're not going to just change it in the most pivotal game, but
hey, man, we changed the 4-4-2 for the England game. You know, if we're going to switch it around, let's switch it around. What if we really switch around, Terry? We went 3 in the back against Iran.
We don't got the guys for that. I just struggle to believe that they didn't practice that 4-4-2 at all. They probably did. I don't think they just did it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's just going to do some shit that he's never done. He doesn't strike me as someone to like to change. You know what I'm saying? Like to do different shit. Mr. Greg Berhalter himself. So,
I will say, remember when he took over to like the U.S. team at the very beginning? He talked about how we were going to disorganize the opposition through possession, just like his Columbus Crew teams. And we started off playing 3 in the back, and we were ticky-tacking out of the goal kicks, and our goalkeepers were fucking us, getting balls played in them under pressure, making terrible decisions, giving the ball away. And he saw enough of that, and he was like, we're not ready. We can't be a possession-based team. We need to be a counter-press and verticality team.
Yeah.
But now it's like there's nothing in between. We got fucking 6 guys running behind the line of defense, and then when McKinney turns the ball over, it's a fucking 5-on-3 every time. So
it is, but shout out to Tyler Adam. You know, he does a good job of kind of
Capitan. And if you guys want to find out more about this U.S. team, you should go to www.thehLSpod.com. Check out my whole article on the USA squad. I got insights and player profiles on like our core 6 of the young guys. You know what I mean? We talk about the team strategy, the tactics, some of the risks that they're taking, some of the places that we could shore up a bit, the question marks on the team. So if you guys want to find out a little bit more, get hyped for this game against Iran, really have something to talk about with all your buddies, go check that out at www.thehLSpod.com.
Yeah, I don't know. After the conversation we just talked about, I think Jesus has got to play. He's got 7 goals and 15 appearances in like all, USA appearances. So
if I had to bet, he would be the one to start.
I think when he got in those World Cup qualifying games specifically, he kind of clicked immediately with the guys that were on the field. So I think he'd be fine out there, and it would force us to play on the ground and not do stupid shit. Like I hate when we just played in the air. We never win the fucking aerial duels. These guys were on the field. Even when Haji Wright was out there, I saw him win one chest down when we played against Wales. The first touch he had when he got into the World Cup. Besides that, we didn't do much of anything, bro. I mean, there was a couple instances I'm like, oh, nice, chest pass off. Sergeant, good shit. But stop doing it. Just play on the ground. We're just not that big physical team. We're just not. Like, our group is pretty big.
Well, I told you about the article I read on The Athletic about how they all took their goal kicks differently and everything like that.
Yeah.
Our goal kick pattern is kicking it long to Weah or to whoever the 9 is in that, like, half space between the center and the sideline all the way up to the forwards. Like, that's our progression. I will say I looked at Iran's as well. Very similar. Kick it long to the big guy every time, which could end up playing out well for us.
Unless they have a real big guy.
Yeah. Well, my hope is that Iran tries to, like, control the game and that they want to play tiki-taka and be real slick and pass all over the park, and we can just press them and get some easy chances. Because Iran has to play for the win, too. They can't play for the dry.
They got to try to win. They can make it through, which would be fucking insane. But I don't know, man. Zimmerman and Ream kind of disappointed me in that England game, though, with, like, the goal kicks to Kane. Kane won almost every single header in that fucking game. I'm just strictly Pickford kicking the shit out of it. I was really disappointed in that shit. They didn't do a whole lot with it, but he flicked it on every time.
Yeah, I thought what's his name, Musa and Adams did a great job winning the second ball after the header. But you're right; it's not like Zimmerman was out here dominating a shorter opponent.
No, it's like, bro, it's at halftime. I swear to God, I'd punch him straight in his chest. I'm like, are you a man? Or are you a bitch? You need to fucking win a header. Like, this is ridiculous.
Low key, dude. It's like, has Tim Ream kind of taken the things that he's good at and like taken that spot? Like, I wouldn't hate seeing Cameron Carter-Vickers and Tim Ream together. I really wouldn't.
I'd like to see an aerial duel be won. That's all I'm saying.
And the other thing with Zimmerman that I forgot is he gave away so many passes trying to squeeze balls in between the lines, like with these long-driven balls on the ground, and very few of them got through, and a lot of them were turnovers in a bad place.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if he's been watching Eric Garcia tape or what, but you need to go back to the lab, dude.
I think that was something that like they wanted to do in the second game, but once they kind of fucked up, it was kind of funny watching that too. Because like after he did that a couple of times and messed up, England just pressed him every time he got the ball. Like when Ream got it, they were like, "Yeah, he's got it. He's calm." Zimmerman got it. They're like, "Get his ass. Get him. Get him. Get him, boys." But,
hey, man, that's what we're going to do on Tuesday. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. is going down, bro. Winning, we're in, baby. Winning, we're in. That's all we got to do.
Man, I don't have a lot of confidence.
It's like it sounds like the confidence meter is pretty low on the other side of this Zoom call right now.
It's gone, bro. It's out of here. I mean, if we tie, we still make it.
It's hard to have a lot of confidence when you've went scoreless in 7 of your 9 like competitive matches against good teams leading up to the World Cup, and then you go to the World Cup and score 1 goal in 2 games. It's hard to get really optimistic when you don't create any chances.
Yeah, when you don't score, it's not fun to watch. Just ask the Mexicans.
Hey, speaking of not creating any chances, what did I tell you about Mexico, Terry?
I told you that's why they were a sleeper. They're not a dark horse. All right. Hey, shout out Serbia. Did they beat Switzerland? They're playing them right now, right?
No. They play them on Friday. Serbia is fucked, dude. They have 1 point.
So they tied that game versus who they play? Who's the other game they played? Because in their group is
Ghana, Cameroon. I think it was Cameroon.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, anyways. Oh, no.
But, Cameroon, by the way, playing without their best player, their goalkeeper, who got sent home for the team over disagreements on how to take goal kicks.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's the shit I'd like to hear. I like hearing that crazy shit. But anyways, what was I about to say? Oh, if USA ties Iran, we do go through, though. Depending on the Wales shit.
No.
If Wales loses, we're in.
No.
Why not? Don't we got them on gold?
Because Iran would have 4 points and we'd have 3.
Wait. Oh, did Iran? That's right. They beat Wales. Motherfuckers.
Yeah. We got to win. There's
Good
no
job,
ifs, ands, or buts about it. We got to win.
Wales, you really fucked us on that one. You couldn't tie Iran. Like, what? Damn it.
I know you haven't been really watching a lot of the other teams, but that Spain-Germany game yesterday was an absolute firecracker, dude. You know, Germany had multiple goals ruled out for offsides. Spain had one ruled out for offsides.
You said Spain should have whooped them.
Spain got there just like the U.S. coach. I'll give praise when it's due. I love Luis Enrique, but he got his subs wrong, dude. He got all his subs wrong. The game completely changed after they put in Nico Williams, who did nothing but lose the ball every single time he touched it. Koke was terrible. Morata scored the goal that you thought would be the difference, but then squandered several other opportunities, and his link-up play was terrible.
I mean, that's him.
Where the fuck is Ansu Fati?
That's what I was about to tell you. What's going on?
What happened to him? He's starting the fucking scrimmage game. He's going to be a big part of the squad, all this other shit. And then we leave Danny Olmo in for 90 minutes when he's dead. And we put in Nico Williams ahead of Fati, who lost the ball every single time, and Morata. Like, Spain had control of this game, dude. And they were about to just pass Germany to death and see the shit out 1-0. And then they just started losing the ball left and right, left and right, left and right.
So what's up with that? Because you think he's probably, the best player on the team? Is that what you think? Or close, yeah.
I think he's the best striker on the team. I think he's the person who's, like, in the big moment, he's probably going to finish a half chance. I have more confidence in him finishing a half chance than anyone else.
But just player. Top 11, right?
Just player. Pedri's the best player on the team.
Well, is Fati in the top 11?
Yeah, he's in the top 11. The hard thing with Spain is their top 11 would be 10 center midfielders.
But he's like a striker type, so he's not going to play over. So you think Pedri is better than Fati?
Yeah, I think Pedri's the best player on the whole Spanish team. Like he bossed that Germany game like so easily. Like he didn't put a foot wrong in all match. He made Musiala look like a little ass kid. Like he dominated that whole game, and he made it look so fucking easy. He's 19 years old. Like it's just crazy, man. Gavi looked really good. Balde came in and within 30 seconds gave up the goal that caused him to lose.
Shout out to them. Look, I think
the foul though that led to him getting out. The German number 9. They play a ball across, and Jordi Alba is like in space to head it. This German number 9 takes like a 20-yard run up, jumps all the way through this motherfucker, fouls the shit out of him on the air, then lands on him. Then he landed on his ass, mushed him back into the ground, and got up, and the referee didn't call a foul. Jordi Alba got so hurt from that play, they had to sub him out, and then 30 seconds later, his sub gives up the goal.
I gotta say, some of these refs, from what I've been seeing, it's funny watching the highlights. They'll show a foul, and nothing happens. I'm just like, why'd they show that foul? And I'm just like, all right, they're just showing how bad the refs are, I guess. It's like, no card, no nothing. All right, cool. And then some yellows just makes no sense, but I don't know. Maybe the Fati thing, something's going on with the coach. It's got to be similar to the Gio Reyna situation. It's got to be something because Fati's really good.
I don't know, man. Maybe some fitness stuff. Who knows? But like,
maybe
I think he can make a difference in a way Murata can't.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the Murata goal was fantastic. It was a nice flick on. It was a beautiful goal. But for that one thing he does, it's a lot of other things he does so bad that kind of hurt the team. So I don't know, man. He's just lucky that Spain doesn't have a lot of good strikers. That's all.
Hey, Spain, though, they had an opportunity to knock Germany all the way out of the tournament. Like, all they got to do is hold on, have your left back not come in and fuck the game up in 30 seconds after he steps on the pitch. Like, they dominated the entire game and then blew it. And it's definitely a missed opportunity for them because Germany would have had 0 points and would have been mathematically eliminated. And now it's like Spain is on 4 points. Japan's on 4 points.
No, Japan's on 3.
Japan's on 3 points. Costa Rica's on 3, and Germany's on 1.
Yeah. And
dude, if I were Spain, I'd just fucking throw this game against Japan and go through as the second team and say, fuck you, Germany.
I don't know, bro, because, like, I don't know. What's the goal differential? Hold on. Let me take a look.
Oh, it's bad. Germany is the worst one, I think.
Nah, they're -1. Costa Rica lost that Spain game 7-0, so they're -6.
But Costa Rica has 3 points.
Yeah, but if Germany wins versus Costa Rica,
they have to.
Yeah,
Germany has to win and hope that Spain wins as well.
Can they? Oh, I gotta check Japan's shit.
Yeah, well, Japan's on 3.
Well, Japan's goal difference at 0. So, like, say Spain and Japan tie. Japan still stays at 0. But if Germany wins 2-0, then they go in. They're in because their goal differential will be 1 and Japan's will be 0, and they'll all have the same points.
Fair enough, and they'd still have 4 points.
Yeah, Germany's got to win by double. They got to double it up, and the way they're playing, it's all set pieces and tricky bullshit.
And they're playing Costa Rica too.
Or they could play Leroy Sané for full 90.
Bro, they hate the blacks, man. It is crazy.
They really hate him because, like, they've had some other black people play.
Yeah, they got Gnabry out there. They got Rudiger, but I don't know, man. The same thing with Spain. It's like with the whole Nico Williams, Ansu Fati, all this different type of shit. It's like, what are we doing here, man?
It's weird. Let me ask you a question. When Sané was out there, did he look scary? Nah, no. Just that one chance at the end. That was about it. He didn't really do a whole lot.
Then they squandered that shit anyway too.
Sané, he should have shot that. He should have chipped it. Give me something. Dribble the goalie and then cross it in.
I'm telling you, man, like for 75 minutes, Spain taught Germany a lesson. And then they made their subs and they lost control of the game. And the guys that they put on could not retain the ball. Germany was pressing them really well. And they had like errant touches here, errant touches there. I really think Nico Williams may have lost the ball 9 times in a row since entering the pitch and did nothing.
Jesus Christ. Is he? I know he's like, he's a young phenom, but
he looked so nervous, dude. He just looked like he wasn't ready. And a lot of them were like his first touch to get caught up underneath his foot. And then now he's like out of rhythm and is like, stabbing to get back into play and shit.
That's some Canada shit right there. That's some Canada shit.
He wouldn't have looked out of place in Canada.
God, that Canadian center back. Too bad Canada doesn't care about soccer that much, but if he played for like a Spanish team, dead. As soon as he goes back home, someone's killing him. Did you see
love how their coach was like, fuck Croatia before the game.
Oh, man.
Caught on camera. But, hey, some things we were right and some things we were wrong on so far. Wrong, Serbia. They got 1 point. They looked really bad. They had their moments against Brazil, but they couldn't capitalize. Vlahovic has been terrible. He's been absolutely invisible. Milinkovic has been fine, and they've been like way frailer at the back than I thought that they would be. They have to win big in their last game to go through, right?
Let me take a look at this shit. And
they just tied fucking Cameroon without their best player.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's insane. Oh shit, I'm looking at Canada. They got 1 point. Brazil and Switzerland are playing right now. You would think Brazil wins, but if it stays a tie, they have a better chance because
we will say with the Neymar injury, that changes a lot of things for Brazil because he functioned as like the hub of their offense, and he's the guy who had that quality to like link between the tiniest of margins and Spring Vinicius and Spring Antony and all their other wingers and attackers that they have.
Yeah.
And like without that guy who could play that ball through like a hair razor margin, they may have to change some stuff tactically because they pretty much play a 4-2-4.
It's weird, man. I don't know. Now, Serbia would have to win if it all stays a tie, like 0-0 tie at that. Serbia would have to win by 2. But like if Switzerland scores a goal, they'd have to win by 3. And that's tough as fuck.
Yeah, I think we missed it on Serbia. I really thought that they could go all the way to like the Final Four, dude. Like they were my favorite dark horse team, and it turns out they are just a mule. They're a black mule.
No, it was a lot of people's team though, but like they make the most sense on paper, and I just think probably we fell in love with like the FIFA-ness of it as well. Like the game. Like,
I just think they didn't perform. Like, straight up. I think they're good, and they just laid a fucking egg, and they should be a little embarrassed.
Their services, from some of the, like, shit I've been watching, their service isn't good for all those fucking behemoths they have. Like, every single ball in is just, like, short or way too long. Or, like, Milinkovic missed a header. Shit went right over his fucking head, and he, like, missed it. I don't know. It's weird. They're playing bad. Canada is a huge surprise for me, bro. Like 0 points, dude. 4 goals. Croatia.
And man, we correctly highlighted that game against Belgium. We're like, they have a chance to do it here. They get the PK. They get the counterattacks. Wasteful.
Yeah.
Couldn't finish it. Moment too big. Canada's out.
That's the thing. Like, Davies is as good as he is. He's not a striker. You know what I'm saying?
Man, why do you have your fucking 21-year-old outside back taking penalties for your team?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have anybody that can hit one? That PK was bad, too. And the dude he kicked it against, that motherfucker can save PKs. So I'd have been like, look, just pick a corner, blast it, bro. Don't do any tricky shit. This dude's good at saving them.
No, I'll just pass it on the ground, not across my body. Like the easiest PK to take on the ground to your strong side. It wasn't even in the corner. It was like, it looked like Lewandowski's PK. It was like y'all both just got nervous and you went and tried to do the easiest thing and you hit it with not enough pace and they fucking saved.
Poland, bro. Morocco, actually.
Top of their group, though, Terry. Despite, misfiring at the beginning, they got a big win. Lewandowski got his first World Cup goal where he stole from the goalie and passed it in the goal. Got the monkey off his back.
Yeah.
They scored a goal from a goal kick, which I enjoyed, where they hoofed it up and then it was like, flick on. Now we got a 4-on-3, super, super aggressive, move the ball quickly, put it in the back of the net. So we correctly identified that they were going to be good. Mexico, they're done.
Yeah,
that game against Argentina, that was a beautiful game to watch. Messi coming up to score the big goal and then provide the assist.
Yeah. Are they, let me see, are they statistically out though? Poland plays Argentina. If that ties, that's 4 points.
Nah, they're not statistically out, but they got to like win and hope for help. Win big and hope for help.
They'd have to beat Saudi Arabia like 5-0.
Yeah.
Because I don't see that Poland-Argentina game. Even if it is a tie, it's at least going to be 1-1.
Yeah. Argentina's coming for blood in that, too.
Yeah. And Messi hates Lewandowski because he's heard some fucking murmurs like, he's the best striker there's ever been. Oh, yeah? I'm the best goal scorer of anything. Shut the fuck up. I'm about to score 3 goals in this game. He's playing really well in this. Is he looking like the best player in the world? I don't know. His free kicks are really bad. I'll tell you that.
He missed the target on that. He's still nasty at free kicks, though. Like, you'll have a couple of aberrations, but it's like nobody's been better at free kicks than Messi in the last 10 years, and it hasn't been even close.
I think his butt is so tight in these
big moments,
bro. Like for Argentina, with the Argentina shirt on his back, he's like, oh, man, I really have to make this. Because that Saudi Arabia game, I was like, bro, loosen up, my guy. Damn.
I will say his midfield partners didn't do him any favors.
This team.
I forget the one dude who played against Mexico, but he was terrible. His partner in the center of the field there, DePaul, I think it was.
Either him or McAllister. No, he's on the wing.
McAllister was fine. It was DePaul. He was awful, man. He lost the ball damn near every time he touched it.
Grit, baby. Argentina's got to show me some more grit. You got to show me the team that won the Copa America, man. Like,
I think they'll be fine. I think they're going to come out and win this next game. In the other groups, though, Denmark, both you and I had them penciled as going through. We thought that they were like really tactically good. We've bemoaned their lack of a striker, and it has really hurt them. They can't score, man. They don't have the one guy who can make a difference. They're in third place with 1 point.
Who they play next?
I don't know.
Denmark is playing. Damn, what is all this bullshit?
Oh, they play Australia to decide the group.
Australia, yikes.
If Australia ties, they go through.
That's fucking insane. Yeah, because they got 3 points. They beat Tunisia, right? 1-0?
Yep.
It's just funny seeing the rest of a group have -2 goal differential as the second place team, -1 and -1 as third and fourth. France is just
not the group of death by any means. Definitely not the group of death.
France got so lucky with that group, bro.
They're sleepwalking right now. They're not even playing their hardest.
No, it's ridiculous. Whatever. We'll see in the next round when everyone's like, oh, yeah, France. And then they get smacked by, like, the second place team in whatever group they're going to play.
Who's Belgium playing? Oh, Croatia.
That's so interesting.
Thursday, Belgium has to – they got to beat Croatia to go through.
Because Morocco, bro.
Hakimi.
Hey, it's not it's not just him.
Excuse me, do you have a tissue?
Costa Rica is probably the biggest surprise for me, bro. The biggest one. Because losing 7-0 and then coming back and winning the next game 2-1, that's grit, bro. That's
great. But we knew that they could defend. Like, Spain picked them apart with the tiki-taka stuff. And we said before the preview, like in our preview show, I was like, Spain is going to pick them apart. They're better than any team in the world at beating teams that play a low block. Like, they know the geometry of how to unbalance you. But against other teams, it's like Costa Rica, they gave up the least goals in CONCACAF during qualifying. Like, they shut it down at the back. And they can catch you on the counter when they're not playing 57-year-old Brian Ruiz as their striker.
Yeah, is he on the roster for this, or did they? He is.
Wow. He started.
My man.
He started against Spain, bro.
That's crazy. Did he start the second game?
No,
he didn't.
No,
they left him out. They were like, "Yeah, no, we can't do it. Sorry."
Listen, man, you were good when Landon Donovan was good, and he didn't go to 2 World Cups ago. Like, come on, bro.
That's facts.
It's time to give it up.
I think it's more of like you were just a guy for us for so long. We have to like put you out there. And then they're like, this guy's a statue. You just leave him as a statue. Stay on the sidelines. We got the young guys coming in.
The first 20 minutes, I thought he was a linesman.
It's weird because you got him. And then remember the dude from like, how long ago was that when Joel Campbell was really good? Like 2008? 2000? No, was that like 2010, 2014?
When who was good?
Joel Campbell, when he played for Arsenal.
Oh my God, that was
the lefty. He played really well in that World Cup, and then Arsenal signed him. He didn't do anything at all.
I think that was 2008.
Or
Or 2010 or 06?
Yeah. I think it was like 2010. How old is he? Everyone on the team is so old. God damn, experience. I can't believe they beat Japan. I can't believe Japan beat Germany. 2-0.
I knew Japan was going to beat Germany. I called that shit. Fucking
2-0?
Germany sucks, dude. They're outside backs, man. I'm telling you, they got no outside backs. They're fragile defensively. They played a weird mix of guys throughout their midfield space as well. It feels like they just haven't figured out the identity of their team yet.
No,
it's like he just kind of wants to run Bayern Munich back with the national team. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that, dude.
They don't have a striker either, though. It's so weird. When you think about the best strikers in the world, Haaland is not in the World Cup. Lewandowski plays for Poland.
Mane is not in the World Cup.
No.
Son is not in the World Cup.
Benzema plays for France. That's a good team. But
Lautaro Martinez is for Argentina. Serbia's got both of those guys.
Oh yeah, Vlahovic. And then Brazil, they don't have like an out just striker that's like great. You know, like
what I tell you about Charlison for Brazil though, man. Listen, he may suck for Everton, but for Brazil, he's a different guy. He's a different guy.
That little side volley kick that he made, that first touch was awful. I don't want to hear. No, he didn't do it on purpose.
How good was the second touch though?
No, stop. His first touch bounced into the air. He ran after it. He was like, "Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna just kick this one." That first touch was so bad. If I was a defender, I'd be like, "Oh, give me that." Gobble, gobble. The dude just watched him. He was like, "Oh, goal."
Bro, his first touch was so bad that it like froze the defender.
It froze everybody.
He was like, "Whoa, I didn't see this coming."
It's absolutely unbelievable, bro.
Hey, he put it in the back of the net though.
He did. Shout out Brazil. They're playing Switzerland right now. I don't know who's going to win that game.
The one I'm excited for today is Uruguay and Portugal. 2:00, 2 p.m. Portugal's leading the group. They got 3 points. Ghana's second because they won today. Uruguay, you got to at least get a point here. You know,
Bro.
if you that's going to be tough going into the final match day with 1 point.
Ghana bullied South Korea, huh? My God. I mean, that's fucking crazy. They got 5 goals for, 5 goals against. That's insane in 2 games.
I was watching the South Korea-Ghana one, and I forget what moment it was, but it was something where I was just like, that's not soccer. Like, how could you be at the World Cup and think that that's what you're supposed to do, dude?
It was South Korea?
Yeah, it was South Korea. And I was just like, throw them out right now. Like, you guys deserve to lose against Ghana. I forgot what it was, but I literally I almost spit on my hardwood floor in disgust. Oh, I remember exactly what it was. I reversed it, Terry. I reversed it in my mind. They for their South Korea's second goal, they get down to the corner and then they loft in this floating cross to the back post that floats in the air for about 5 seconds. This 5'7" South Korea man gets a 10-yard running head start and jumps over 2 Ghanaian guys to head the ball into the back of the net.
That's insane. I can't wait to watch those highlights, bro. I was watching a bit of that game this morning, when I was cleaning up and shit. And the way Ghana was just killing them, I was like, bro, this is sad. I can't even believe it's 3-2. Because I was just watching the first half. I saw the cross goal to whoever number 20 is. I can't remember his name. But it was IU to whoever.
Abubakar?
I don't know, maybe.
No, that is his name. Abubakar, yeah.
Yeah, but he whips it in like an in-swinger. They score. But they were bullying them, bro. They were doing their African chops on them. I was like, bro, this is just, get South Korea out of here. For it to be 3-2, Ghana must have just been fuck it, and just started fucking around.
I don't know, but to let that little South Korean man sky in the air, bro, we need to sign this man up for the dunk contest.
Super Saiyan, dog.
He looked like Cassius Stanley out there.
Shout out to him, trash. Anyways, anybody else kind of surprise you? I don't see
let me go through the list real quick.
I feel like
I think Japan is the one that not a lot of people are talking about with the big win over Germany. But
the big win.
You and I both said don't sleep on Japan, especially after watching them wax the U.S.
Yeah.
You knew that they were a technical side. If they hadn't committed so many players forward against Costa Rica pushing to get a W, they could have tied that and pretty much already guaranteed themselves qualification. So I think Japan probably would be my surprise right now, just looking at the rankings. And probably Ecuador as well. As well.
Yeah, but Qatar is so bad. They didn't even cheat. They didn't even try to cheat in that game either. They just let them. You can't just let them win. Bro, you want to know how undeserved that they were to get the World Cup? They didn't even win the opening match. No one has ever lost the opening match. You guys.
And they disallowed a couple goals via VAR, too.
Come on, guys. Cheat. You got to cheat. They didn't cheat. They don't deserve it. If you're not going to cheat, what are you doing?
But shouts to Ecuador. They took care of business against Qatar. They tied Netherlands 1-1 in a hard-fought game. They probably have the best set pieces package in the world, like I described earlier when talking about America, with an incredible amount of player movement and design plays, and they're a threat anytime you foul them or give them a free kick from any area. And now they play Senegal, who's looked uninspired, playing without their best player, disorganized defensively. It's I don't think a lot of people gave Ecuador the requisite respect, myself included maybe. They did qualify over Chile, and they did qualify over Colombia.
I told you.
Yep. And, hey, you've been right, man. It looks like, they could put Senegal to the sword tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll have to tune in and see.
Man, but for that to be the third game, that's tough luck. I would almost would have wished Netherlands would have been the third game, and we already got Senegal out the way, because that's not going to be an easy one. Even though they don't look great, but it's still, they have guys that can change the game.
Yeah, they still got quality players throughout the squad.
It's going to be tough. If I wasn't boycotting the World Cup, I'd watch the fuck out of that game.
Hey, man, Senegal, I feel so bad for you guys. This could have been your time. If only Mane was in there. We'll never know.
Yeah, but that's it. And, of course, our group always has to be the bullshit. We can never, win a fucking game. It always has to be difficult. We haven't been here in 8 years, guys. We can't just win. We can't just fucking make it easy. We got to stress it out every time.
Oh, honestly, so many people were upset that Iran, got their win. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, now we can't tie and get in. Dude, if you can't win a game in a group stage, you don't deserve to go to the next round. You shouldn't be allowed to go in if you don't win a game. Fuck the points. Yeah, so all these people that are like, oh, we got really unlucky. No, we didn't. We got exactly what we wanted. We control our destiny. All we have to do is go out there tomorrow and win. And we're in.
Yep. We do. Hey, Turner, keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing, Matt Turner. Oh, he was so close to saving that Bale PK, too. He guessed on that crazy right. And
hey, what I tell you about that man Bale and free kicks, dude? You want to poo-poo me? All the shit, I gave you the stats. How many of his fucking free kicks goals has he scored in big games?
It's a PK, man. I ain't worried about PKs. You're talking to the wrong person about PKs. I've made 87 PKs.
How many bad PKs have we seen this World Cup, though? That was a good PK. The goalie chose the right, and he still fucking made it. That was a good-ass PK.
Look, a lot of people do this. Don't make it too difficult on yourself. Breathe in. Pick the fucking spot. Don't change your fucking mind. Don't even look at the goalie. Just hit that shit in the fucking spot. If you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. I've only missed 2 out of 90.
Yeah.
It happens. But I'm not scared to take another one. I'll take the other ones the same way. Just fucking kick it. It's going to go in. It's 12 yards away. You played soccer for how many years? You got it. It's fine.
I think a lot of people would be overthinking it, Terry. They don't have your confidence and your just calm demeanor. A lot of people get in their heads. But that's why you practice. I don't know what to tell you. You take fucking 10,000 PKs in your life, you should be ready.
Yeah, Ronaldo doesn't care. Messi doesn't care. He missed a lot, but he doesn't care.
Depay doesn't care. He misses all the time. Hey, man. That's it. But your advice to David, or for taking PKs, I wish I could have written it down and sent it to David Beckham fucking 12 years ago. Oof. But Now it looks like we're going to have to see him shaking hands with the fucking Crown Prince Bin Salam and whoever else in the box as a fucking paid figurehead to be like, oh, no, there's nothing to see here in Qatar. Look how much the people love each other. Look at all the smiles on the streets when David Beckham walks by.
Yeah, right. No, that David Beckham PK was definitely an example of someone who didn't know where they were going. Because he just straight up blasted that.
Oh, no. He knew where he was going. To the moon. He should have changed his name to Neil Armstrong after that.
No, that's facts. And might I say, the 2 PKs I missed, I still hit the target. I hit the post. I hit the left post on the first one I ever missed, but I was kind of hungry. I knew I shouldn't have taken it. That was the only one where I was like, I shouldn't be taking this. But I looked at my teammates and I was like, nah, fuck it. I'll probably still make this shit. But I was hungry, hadn't eaten in like 6 hours. Yeah. Dude paid me $200 to play. I was like, fuck it. I'll take it.
After you missed, did you take off all of your clothes and then slam a cooler?
Nah, shout out to Kevin. That's an inside joke with one of my boys. That shit was funny, man.
Hey, man, I'd never seen tidy whities in highlighter yellow before.
Wasn't that was a PK shootout, right?
Yeah, he lost it. That was the game winning one, too.
It's so funny, though. Like, when we practice PKs, me and Kevin, he hits them way better than me. Like, every time in practice. As soon as we get in the game, it's like right down the middle to the left a little bit. Save. I'm like, Doc, we've been doing this for like years. Come on, bro.
And some people, they just can't do it. Like,
I swear to God, I feel like I should make him go first. Like, I always go first. I'm like, I'm going to go first. I'll nail it. We'll, have a lead if our keeper blocks it. But I should be like, look, man, you go first. Make that shit or don't. It doesn't matter. You're not going to fuck us. He's lost us the PK shootout 3 times. I've seen it. 3 times. Listen, he had the game loser.
You don't have to worry about him going first because he doesn't play soccer anymore. He is now the round mound of refried beans. Okay?
He plays for a semi-pro team in Durham. Yeah.
He does?
Yeah.
Shouts to you, Kev.
Yeah, and
good stuff, man. He quit on soccer. We hate to see that. At this podcast, we always support you guys sticking with it. I'm glad you got back on the horse. I'm glad you got back into shape. I'm glad you adopted 15 fucking dogs. Shouts to Kevin.
Hey, Kev was the one, too. He was talking to me. He was like, hey, man, put the podcast on Spotify. I can't watch YouTube all day. I'm going to drain my battery. I was like, I'll think about it. But anyways, shout out to him. The team he plays for, I think they played in a qualifying game to get into the U.S. Open Cup.
Hey,
so the team's really
man.
Good. They asked me to play, and I was just like, Durham is far, man. That shit's far as fuck. And they don't be paying. These semi-pro teams are just out here just trying to take free young kids' money. I'm like, I'm 30. I need money to go.
Those days are over.
Yeah, I can't play anything for free anymore. That shit's done. Like, I'm out on that.
Hey, man, I hope it's not too late. We may be able to put some paperwork in, and we may be looking at the new starter over Serginho Dest for the next World Cup. If Kevin can just keep it together. But until then, guys, make sure that you check back tomorrow at 2 o'clock for USA-Iran. All right? Even if you don't watch the game, turn the TV on. All right? Because we need people to understand that soccer is on the come up and football is on the way down. And we taking over.
Football's not on the way down.
Oh, yeah? You never seen Concussion with Will Smith?
I will say this, though. Remember when we were talking about that shit? The U.S.-England game, I think, combined viewers just in America was 20 million. Around the world, I don't know. But just in America was 20 million. The most viewed soccer game ever.
Yeah.
So I told y'all, got to give it to everybody watch it. Congrats on y'all.
Let's beat that number again on Tuesday on the actual important game. Winning, you're in. This determines whether you go to the next round. And I want to especially call on our Latinx brothers and sisters. Turn on Telemundo. All right, it's about time that those numbers get reflected in the U.S. viewership ones as well. I want to make sure our Latin brothers and sisters numbers are being taken into account, even though they listen to it in Spanish.
No, they counted Telemundo for the 20 million.
Oh, they did? They counted?
Yeah. It was Telemundo and Fox.
Yeah. Damn, I was hoping we could get an extra 6 or 8 million.
They counted it. It's that game was just at a perfect time. I think whoever made the schedule did that perfectly because that was like the Friday after Thanksgiving. There was a lot of people were probably off, and it was at 2. It was perfect. This one is probably not going to get half as much just because of the time.
Last question, Terry. What would the U.S. have to do to cause protests in the streets and riots like what's going on in Belgium right now?
Why are they protesting in Belgium? What happened?
Because they got dumped out of the World Cup.
What do you mean? They're still in.
They're out, bro. They have like 0 points, I'm pretty sure.
Belgium?
Yeah.
They got 3
just
points.
Talking about them.
They got 3 points.
Who'd they beat?
I want to say Canada.
Oh, Canada. It was Canada. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Well, I guess that's all it takes. You lose one game and they fucking destroy the whole country. But yeah, they're like flipping cars and burning buildings and doing all types of crazy shit in Belgium right now.
On that, what have y'all won ever? Why? What are we doing? Huh? Belgium, you're just like us. You have never won anything that has any importance. Why are you doing protests in the street because your team's out the World Cup? You're not
pretty
good.
sure they've never even finished third.
Ooh, yeah. The infrastructure to go fight and play in the World Cup. Suck a dick. Third place, maybe 1934. Don't ever forget it. Look it up. It might be the wrong year. It might be the right year. You never know.
Shout out to the 30s. Shout out to Iran. Shout out to the Stars and Stripes. And shout out for Weston McKennie for dyeing the French national team's flag on top of his hair, despite playing for America.
Jesus Christ. Hey, predictions.
1-0.
Ooh, 1-0 USA Iran. All right. You heard it here first. He says Iran's winning 1-0 versus America, and we're out the World Cup. That's an unfortunate one, Garrett. I don't understand what you're doing there with that one. Trying to get some positive momentum going towards the other team. I don't get it. Me, I think it's going to be 5-0 USA. We finish them off. We have a good date. We celebrate that. That's a national holiday. What day is that? November 29th? Yep. National holiday, baby.
Listen, man, as long as we can finish the game from opening whistle to the end without any shows of extremists or anything blowing up, I think we'll be just fine.
Actually, that'd be fucking fantastic. It'll probably be like that. Qatar don't play that.
If anything, it's going to be Saudi Arabia who blows up Iran for not showing the goddamn games on their channel that they paid for.
Hey, I know we went long on this one, but honestly, my real prediction, if we score 1 goal, that'd be fantastic. But I'm going to say 2-1. I'm going to say some Landon Donovan 2-1 tricky bullshit, just like the last time. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the game tomorrow. Hopefully the red, white, and blue will take it home. We'll be with you guys Friday for a full episode of the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. Until then, North Carolina, continue to stand up.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.